Alright, everyone, pull up a chair and listen to this. The circus is coming to town next week, or so we're told. As royal editor Matt Wilkinson has just been saying, Prince Harry is on his way back to the UK, and he's announced it like it's some kind of grand royal visit. It's already turning into a media frenzy, a completely unneeded circus, putting all this pressure on the king to have some high-stakes meeting with his wayward son. But while the world is being distracted by the soap opera of a potential father-son reunion, a much darker, much more humiliating story has erupted from the shadows. A story that confirms every suspicion we have ever had about the true character of Prince Harry and the desperate state of his hollowed-out Montecito life. Prince Harry, once seen as Diana's compassionate son, the man with his mother's heart, the proud founder of the Invictus Games, has been given a new, humiliating label by his critics. They are calling him the Beggar Prince. Now, I know you guys are excited for more M4, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, according to insiders, in a move of such breathtaking arrogance and desperation it almost defies belief, Harry asked Wellchild, the very children's charity he has been patron of for years, for a $1.86 million loan. Let me repeat that so we are all crystal clear. Not a donation he had raised, not a fundraising appeal for sick kids in need, but a personal loan for himself. He looked at the coffers of a charity dedicated to supporting children with severe, complex, and life-limiting health challenges, and he allegedly thought, yes, a piece of that would be very nice for me. He saw money meant for wheelchairs, for specialist medical equipment, for families in the deepest crisis imaginable, and he saw a solution to his own lifestyle funding issues. The response from Wellchild CEO Matt James could not have been more swift, more brutal, or more correct. It was a flat rejection, a firm, unequivocal no, Duke. A stark reminder that charity coffers are for the vulnerable, not for Montecito millionaires crying poverty from their 9-bedroom mansion. For Harry, a man used to a lifetime of doors swinging open and people bowing and scraping before him, it was a slap in the face and a humiliation too big to hide. The sheer size of the loan request stunned even Harry's few remaining defenders. Nearly $2 million. From a charity. It reveals not only a terrifying level of desperation, but a shocking, almost pathological arrogance. That Harry truly believed he could raid funds meant for the most vulnerable families in society to cover his own extravagant lifestyle is an indictment of just how far he has fallen. Wellchild CEO Matt James, known for his measured and professional leadership, reportedly didn't even hesitate. The answer was simple. The organization, to its eternal credit, refused to be complicit in what would have been an ethical and public relations disaster of epic proportions. Once, Prince Harry brought prestige and attention to Wellchild. Now, as his critics rightly say, he has become a toxic burden. Instead of shining a light on sick children, his endless scandals and dramas completely overshadow the charity's vital work. And by asking for money, he flipped his role entirely, from benefactor to beggar. A patron who drains rather than contributes. For years, Harry has preached to us from his Californian pulpit about his financial independence. He left the royal family, he claimed, because he didn't need the crown, that he and Meghan would thrive on their own. He was going to make his own way in the world. And yet, here he is, hat in hand, allegedly trying to get a multi-million-dollar loan from a children's charity. This is the hypocrisy his critics have been waiting for. The final, undeniable proof that the entire financial independence narrative was a complete and utter lie. And perhaps most painfully of all, Harry has always invoked his mother Diana's memory when tied to his charity work, presenting himself as her one true heir in compassion. This moment, this loan request, felt like a desecration of her legacy. The woman who famously sold her own iconic dresses to raise funds for hospitals and AIDS charities is now represented by a son who allegedly asks those same kinds of charities to bankroll his life of luxury. Even Diana's most loyal supporters are reportedly disillusioned and disgusted. When news of this leaked, the backlash was instant and ferocious. Social media erupted with fury, with people accusing Harry of trying to exploit sick children for his own gain. Headlines compared him not to Diana the Saint, but to a spoiled, out-of-touch prince who had finally, irrevocably, revealed his true self. What was once a reservoir of public sympathy has now turned into a cesspit of disgust. And where is Meghan in all of this? Oh, she is conspicuously silent. No statements, no denials, no carefully crafted Instagram posts about the importance of giving back. Insiders whisper that this entire desperate, reckless strategy was her idea, a quick fix to patch the ever-growing financial shortfalls after a string of Hollywood flops. But if so, it backfired spectacularly. And by staying quiet, Meghan does what she always does. She avoids the direct blame, but leaves Harry to absorb the full force of the humiliation alone. She drives the bulldozer, and Harry willingly stands in its path. The donors to Wellchild, the ordinary people giving their hard-earned money to help terminally ill children, were justifiably outraged. Some reportedly began pulling their support, insisting they will not contribute to a charity associated with a patron who dares to ask for personal loans. Matt James's heroic rejection may have saved Wellchild's integrity, but the damage to donor confidence is real and will take a long time to repair. And what of Buckingham Palace? Nothing. Not a word. And that silence speaks volumes. For King Charles and Prince William, this scandal validates every single decision they have made to distance themselves from the Sussexes. Defending Harry now would mean defending the indefensible. Their silence is a giant, flashing neon sign that says, "He is not our problem. He is on his own." With this one scandal, Harry may have bulldozed the final pillar of his credibility, his charity work. The soldier prince turned philanthropist is now viewed as a liability, begging for money instead of raising it. From military hero to Netflix celebrity to the beggar prince. The fall is complete, and it is absolute. This is why, as Matt Wilkinson rightly points out, Harry's visit is creating an unneeded circus. Harry could have easily, if he genuinely wanted to see his father, come over quietly, without the fanfare, and spent a couple of days with him. But no. He announces it like a state visit, turning it into a media spectacle, putting his father, a man still recovering from cancer, under immense pressure. And as we all know, the main gripe of the royal family, led by a steadfast Prince William, is that whenever there is any sign of a thaw, any chance to meet, the Sussexes exploit it. It ends up in a book, a Netflix series, or an interview with their pet journalists. And now, after this beggar prince scandal, how can the king possibly meet with him? To be seen with him now would be a tacit endorsement of this disgusting behavior. It completely vindicates Prince William's hardline stance. There can be no reconciliation without accountability, and Harry has shown he is accountable to no one, not even to the sick children he claims to champion. The label is already spreading like wildfire online. The beggar prince memes, the headlines, the panel debates, they are all mocking Harry as the royal who went from an Afghanistan veteran to a charity beggar. This isn't just bad press that will blow over in a few days. This is a humiliation that sticks. It becomes a part of your story, a defining chapter. Once a reputation is reduced to a joke, rebuilding it becomes nearly impossible. And what a painful, tragic legacy this is. Harry's entire credibility in the world of charity, the very essence of Diana's work that he once so proudly embodied, is gone. No charity can risk being tied to a patron who asks for money instead of raising it. He is radioactive. And without that charitable credibility, Harry loses the very last anchor of respect he still clung to. The Wellchild rejection wasn't just about $1.86 million. It was a symbolic message. It showed the world that Harry is no longer the soldier prince, no longer the compassionate patron, no longer Diana's torchbearer. He is a man humiliated, desperate, and exposed. A prince who begged a children's charity for money and was told no. This scandal will linger. Donors won't forget. The palace won't forgive. And the public will not stop mocking him. So, now we have it. Prince Harry, red-faced and exposed. The outrage has been fierce, the humiliation total. But here's the big question I want to put to you all. Was this the moment Harry officially crossed the line? What do you think? Was his request unforgivable, the final proof that his image as an independent royal is a complete lie? Or do you believe this was simply desperation? Drop your verdict in the comments. Write beggar prince if you believe this scandal defines him forever. Write too harsh if you think he deserves some sliver of understanding. And let's talk about Meghan. Was this move another example of her pushing Harry into a humiliating situation with her reckless financial schemes? Or is Harry fully responsible for his own downfall this time? Comment blame Meghan if you think she orchestrated it, or all Harry if you believe he owns this disaster completely. Because this isn't just about money, it's about legacy. Diana once sold her dresses to raise funds for children's hospitals, and now her son is accused of trying to drain charity coffers for himself. Has he betrayed her legacy beyond repair? Your voice matters here more than ever. So don't just watch, participate. And make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this story, this tragic fall from grace, is a defining moment in modern royal history. Ta-ta and bye for now.